We're taking a look at the Kalashnikov line of knives from Boker. This isn't all of them, but this is my sample. And, of course, an AK-74 bayonet. Um, these are a line of knives that lend themselves to be automatic opening, such as this one. Or some of them are use a thumb stud. So they're designed to look like the AK-74 bayonet, which has sort of a spear point and this unique handle with the 3 bands that create finger grooves. Very comfortable and provide some traction and some grip to an otherwise smooth handle. And they use that design element you can see in the handles of their various knives. What they've done though is put them at a bit of an angle, where on the bayonet they're flat, they're perpendicular, they're squared off. On the knives, on the pocket knives, they're at a bit of an angle. Taking a look again, there's 2 different blade styles. This is the more spear point blade style, and then this one with the thumb stud uses a more Bowie style blade. And this one happens to be, actually they're all serrated. I've got 2 different styles here. This style, again, the push button or the thumb stud type with the 2 different blades, and then this larger style, which is a liner lock, and then it has this sort of, I don't know, there's probably a name for that, lever, where if you do it right you can flip the blade out with it. It's got this disc for opening it that way if you'd like. It's got a point at the end of the handle there for breaking glass or whatever you might need to break. Really like this one, it's substantial. Really like the shape of that blade, but it's made in Taiwan, so although I like it and I'll keep it around as sort of a addition to my bayonet collection as an example of one of the knives Boker makes, I don't think I'm going to end up using this one. However, if they ever made this one maybe in America or Germany or something, I think I'd probably grab one, even if it was a little more costly, just to have something high quality that I imagine would work really well. Now this one isn't serrated, but I think it'd be pretty nasty if this area was serrated as well. These knives, this one I had to buy, I bought it at a show, and I didn't get a box or anything with it, but I got it at a great deal, so I'm not complaining. But I imagine it comes in some kind of box. But these all come in a box, and I've got one here that's still in the box. And I mentioned in one of my other videos, I bought this one as a replacement to one of my others that was my carry knife. And when I bought this one and opened it, what I was really looking for was to get rid of this Magnum word on the blade, like the early ones, and they say Automat Kalashnikov 74, but if you notice on the serial number there, this one is serial number 0005, and I decided I'm enough of a collector, I'm going to put this one up, and it's basically lived in this box here. The box is meant to resemble the AK-74 magazine. It's got the same lines, sort of a blank and some horizontal lines there, so they do a pretty good job representing it. It's on a little more of a curb like an AK-47, but can't beat them for trying. So they come in this box. Doesn't last forever. A couple of these, it's just sort of a glued together box, and a couple of the edges are curling. So if you are buying these as an investment, they probably would do better to be in some sort of a better temperature controlled, humidity controlled environment, at least for the boxes. But the knives are stainless and aluminum, and for all I can tell, real good shape. I've used this one quite a bit, used it for a long time. It was a very early one, bought it at a gun show, but because it said Magnum, wasn't a big fan of that. I quickly bought that other one, and then because of the serial number, bought this third one, and you can see its one just says Automat Kalashnikov 74, and again, if you take a look at that blade, this one has been used quite a bit. I used this one for a very long time, many years, and you can see the kind of shape it's in. It's in great shape, works fine, spring never had a problem, rode it hard, put it away wet, and many times, and it just lived right through everything I could throw at it. Again, I was doing maintenance at the time, so these knives definitely got a workout. Can't say enough about them. They cost about 35 bucks, or at least they did when I used to buy them. They might be a little bit more than that now, but worth every penny in my opinion. This one seems to be every bit as well made Again, it's bigger, larger, more substantial, but I've never actually carried it, so I'm not going to endorse this one just because I don't have personal experience with it. But from what I can tell, there's no reason to believe it's not just as decent as all of these. One more look at the AK-74 bayonet that inspired the design and the looks. And great series of automatic openers and regular pocket knives based off a really cool bayonet. The Kalashnikov from Boker. I'll mention also that these are not all auto opening. The two that I used were auto opening because I live here in Arizona and that's perfectly legal. But if you live in a state where they're not legal, this style has the thumb tabs on the back of the knife, so you can very easily open it one-handed or open it quickly. So that's another option that's available, and they're distinctive because of the different style blade. I don't think they made this style blade without the push button. Now this is how they come from Boker. They don't sell them as auto openers or sell them as switch blades, so when you push the button nothing happens. And what you do is, I believe on eBay or wherever, you buy the springs. I think the last time I looked they weren't very expensive, maybe $10 for a pack of 3, and you buy the knife and then you just open it up and add the spring if you live in an area that allows it by law or whatever, and then you get the auto openers, and they open quick. Again, spring lasted for many years of use on this one. I think at least a year's worth of use on this one as well before I switched it out. And again, I wasn't disappointed in this knife at all. I was just disappointed in the name Magnum written on it. So it's the only reason I ever upgraded from that one.